Hello friends, today we are going to read Let's Go to the Library. Let's start. It was a special day for a Shally Brown. She was getting her very first library card. Sally and her big brother Charlie Brown walked to the library. Linus, Sally's sweet Babu, joined them. Shally was so happy that her sweet Babu was coming along on her special day. So they reached the library. Shally started feeling nervous. I have never been inside a library before, she said. This will be a good experience for you, Charlie Brown replied. I think everyone should get to know their librarian. Shally took a deep breath and walked to the librarian's desk. She looked up. No, their librarian, she said. I can't even see the librarian. The librarian gave Sally a plastic card. Shally carefully wrote her name on the back and ta-da! She now had her own library card. That was easy, she said. Linus, Shally, and Charlie Brown wandered around the library. It was full of people. You can do many things at the library, Charlie Brown said. He pointed to Peppermint Patty and Marcel, who were doing their homework. Peppermint Patty wanted to go outside and play baseball. No game until you finish your book report, Marcel said. Then Lucy walked by. I can't believe it, you yelled at Charlie Brown. You missed my book club meeting. Good grief, Charlie Brown replied. I didn't even know you had a book club. Shh, use your quiet voice in the library, Linus warned. A few minutes later, Shally spotted Snoopy and Woodstock doing a puzzle. I didn't know dogs were allowed in the library, she said. This dog is Snoopy Thoughts. Come on, Shally, let's find a book for you to check out, Charlie Brown said. They walked up and down the aisles. There were so many books to choose from. Shally found a book with many pictures inside. Now take this book to the librarian, Charlie Brown said. Tell her you had like to borrow it. But I didn't have many money, Shally cried. You don't need any money, Linus replied. Really? Shally thought about that for a moment, then she declared libraries are wonderful. Shally bought the book and her library card to the checkout desk. The librarian scanned the card and the book with the machines. Then she gave Sally a paper slip printed with the book's due date. After saying goodbye to their friends, Sally and Charlie Brown left the library. At home, Sally settled into her beanbag and started reading. She did not look up until the end of the book. Sally turned to her brother, who was reading his own book. I read something very important today, she said. What's that? Asked Charlie Brown. Shally smiled. Happiness is having your own library card. The end. I beat the cat. Crayons rock. Let's start. Pete loves his big box of gooey crayons. He loves to draw things like car, trucks, flowers, and trees. And most of all, the big blue sea. From rockin' red to cool cat blue. With a box of crayons, there is nothing Pete cannot do. One day, Pete decided to draw something new. His friends. Using lots of colors is so much fun. Pete wanted to use every one. He scribbled and drew a great big smile. His drawings were groovy and rocking with style. Crayons rock. Pete was proud of the pictures he drew. He hoped his friends would dig them too. Pete showed Groovy Toad first. Grumpy Toad said, "This doesn't look right. Those colors are way too bright." Pete thought, "Hey, no, sweet, that's all right. The next one will be dynamite." Pete showed Gus his pictures too. Gus asked, "Who is this supposed to be? It doesn't really look like me." Pete thought, "Hey, no, sweet, that's all right. The next one will be just right," for Cherry from Pete. Pete finally showed Kylie her picture. Kylie said, "This one is fine, but it feels like something missing from mine." What a mess. Bumper, I guess my drawing aren't the best. Pete started to frown. He put his crayons down. In art class, the teacher asked, "Pete, what are you going to make?" "I don't know. I'm afraid of making a mistake." Pete looked around. Gus drew the coolest superhero. Kylie's flowers were awesome out of sight. Grumpy's motorcycles were just right. Pete heart sank. His paper was blank. The gang looked at Pete and said, "No, sweet, it's all right. It doesn't have to be just right. Your is cool because it's you. Your art is so unique. Grab your groovy box of crayons. Show us your technique." The teacher agreed. Art should be fun. Art is for everyone. From Rock and Red, it's Cool Cat Blue with a box of crayons. There is nothing you can't do. Pete smiled. There are no rules. It's no big deal. Art is about how make you feel. Pete loved his cool art. That's the one thing Pete knew. Suddenly, Pete knew exactly what to do. He tried again. Instead of drawing them one by one, Pete drew the whole gang. It's just having fun. Wow, way to go, Pete. That's a rockin' masterpiece. Grumpy Toad, Gus, and Kelly agreed Pete's picture was off the chart. See? What's the groovy things about art? The best art comes from the heart. Crayons rock. The end. I Don't Like Reading by Elizabeth Emily Clark. Let's start. My name is Harry. I like playing football and drawing dinosaurs. I really like playing with my friend Tom. We swap stickers and climb trees. This is my little sister Lily. She can't read yet but loves looking at a book. Lily always asks me to read her stories, but I never want to do because I don't like reading. Sometimes the words make me feel all dizzy. Sometimes the words look so little I can hardly see them. Sometimes words really big, all the books and go blurred. Sometimes I think about having to read the next day and I can't sleep. Then I wake up with a tummy ache. Sometimes I worry about reading aloud in shared reading. In case I get muddled and everyone laughs. Is there, if there is a lot to read on a page, forgot most of it, and then have to read it all again? If there lot to read a page, I forgot most of it and read it. I like reading stories, but I get muddled with the words and get cross, so I give up. One night before bed, I told my mom how I felt, and she said not to worry. She said she would go and speak to my teacher, Miss Morris. The next day, after school, Mom and Miss Morris talked about the things we could do in class to help me. Miss Morris said she would sit with me and help me read through my work. Miss Morris speak to Mr. Johnson. He is the special needs coordinator. He showed me different ways to help me with the reading, like using a ruler to put under the words so I don't lose my places. Also, I could have someone reading along with me until I give them a signal to stop and keep going. Mr. Johnson asked a nice lady called Mrs. Grace to come and meet me. She is an educational psychologist. She had different games for us to play. We played a game where I had to remember things I had seen and the order I have seen them. We also played a game where I looked at the picture and had to tell Mrs. Grace what was wrong with it. I really enjoyed this game. Mrs. Grace gave me page to read on different colored paper. We found that for me, when the words were on green paper, I could read them more clearly. She gave me some green see-through plastic called accelerator to read with me and use whenever I needed to read something. A few weeks later, my mom got a letter from Miss Morris. It read, Harry is a very good, clever young boy with a digestive profile. I said, who is that? What's that? Mom said it means my brain finds it tricky to understand words and hears them differently and gets them letters confused and jumbled up. Mom said that's why I find it harder to spell words and read the books that Tom can. Mom said it doesn't mean I can't read the books Tom does. It does means I have to try harder. Mom and me looked up dyslexia had on her tablets. We found lots of clever, successful people with a dyslexic profile. I started writing a list of them. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Whoopi Goldberg, Cara Dolighton, Lois Hamilton, Richard Yonke, Jamie Oliver. Now, when Lily asked me to read to her, the only problem is I don't want to stop. The end. Deadly Dinosaurs by Nikki Ford. Let's start. It was night time at the Dinosaur Museum. No one was around. All was still and quiet. But wait, roar! What was that noise? Third, the museum shook. There was something alive in the North Hall. The North Hall was full of fossils. The fossils were the bones of dead dinosaurs. But there was something else there too. Something alive and hungry. It stood up tall on two legs. It had a long, stiff tail. Swish! Its teeth were sharp like spikes. It looks big and scary. It was Rexy, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here is how to say Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Roar! The dinosaur models were alive. Rexy was the best hunter around. His sight was sharp. He was fast and strong. His huge jaws could bite into animals' crunch. He could eat an enormous alive, bones and all. Here is how to say Edmontosaurus. Rexy were hungry. He was drooling. Slop. His drool dripped on something smells at his feet. It was Sid, the Cenornithosaurus. Here is how to say Cenornithosaurus. Sid was hungry too. Rush. Sid shook the drool off his feather. His long, sharp teeth gleamed in his beak. Something moved. Sid pounced. He sunk his teeth into its flesh. Roar! It was Rex's feet. Sid had a killer bite. His teeth were loaded with poison, but they were too small to harm Rexy. Sid gulped. Sorry, Rexy. Slop. Another drip of drool landed on him. Diano, the Dinosaurus, raced across the hall. Thump, thump. His long tail swept from side to side. Swish. His two hooded claws tapped on his floor. Two, tap, tap. You are such a feathered Brian, said trolling Diano, biting old Rexy like that. Tuck, tuck. Stick to your diet of little dinosaurs. Leave the big dinosaurs to me. You should see me hunt with my friends. We can kill a dinosaur 3 times our size. They call us the terrible claws. One slash from these sharp claws and dinner is ready. Did dinosaur say dinner? He says Sonia. The Spinosaurus. Her toothy snout sniffed for dish. The sail on her back stood tall and grand. She was the biggest dinosaur. I'm the most deadly dinosaur, hissed Sonia. Oh no, you are not, roared Rexy, Sid and Diano. It's me. I'm faster than Rexy, hissed Sonia. I have a more powerful bite than Sid. I do not need help to kill like Diano. I'm the most deadly. No, it's me. It's me. Oh no, you are not. I am, hissed Sonia. Shh, rasped Sid. I hear footsteps. It is the museum guard, said Diana. Back to your places, roared Rexy. Freeze! All was still and quiet in the North Hall. The end. I hope you love this book, friends. See you next time with a different book. Bye bye.